In this video, I want to talk to you about being selfish as a woman and why this is not the bad thing that we've been taught that it is, how to take advantage of this, and how to cultivate actually being selfish or putting yourself first in your life, especially if you're someone who has been a people pleaser or seeking external validation and approval from others in one or many aspects of your life. In society, women are taught that we should be nice and we should be quiet and selfless and accommodating and amenable and amicable and all of the other A adjectives, because that is how we'll be seen as a good person, as a nice person, and that's how we will succeed in life and in school and in our career and in our relationship. And the truth is that it really hasn't worked at all, because we often feel neglected, we feel frustrated, we feel resentful, but we don't have the confidence to go after the things that we want. We don't have a great relationship with ourselves, or our self-esteem isn't secure. We don't have deep and meaningful relationships with friends, with our family members, and probably not in a romantic setting also. And we don't really have the career success that we want either, where we feel satisfied, because in the real world, it's not the best good girl, the nicest, that is chosen and gets everything that she wants. It's really the selfish woman, or what we've been taught selfish means. And that's actually not true. It's just the way that you're supposed to lead your life with yourself at the center. So that's what we're going to talk about and explain for you really well. Because when you're someone who has a big, meaningful goals, like I know all of us do, and then you're also a people pleaser, it will never work. Like, those things don't go together. Because if you were socialized to be rewarded for being selfless, putting yourself last, putting other people's opinions first, what they prefer you should do, what their requests of you are, how they want you to spend your time, then you're not gonna have the relationship with yourself to be confident enough to go after the things that you want, to believe that you deserve them, to dedicate the time and energy to yourself that's needed for you to create your dream life for yourself. And when you stop focusing on being nice, being amicable to everyone, you're allowed to break free and really give yourself that permission, that space, that time, and that energy. You want to say something, to say what you mean and to mean what you say, to express how you feel, to be selfish, to put yourself first, to know what you deserve and to go after it with everything that you have, and to finally win in life and feel like you're achieving the things that you want. So me personally, growing up and even up until very recently, even sometimes right now too, because I'm still working through this, because it's been such a big factor of my life, I never wanted to be labeled as selfish. I always wanted people, like everybody around me, to see the best in me. And I understand that this is a natural desire, the desire to belong, but also I was kind of taught that you can get everybody to like you if you are like super nice and super likable. And I would go above and beyond to be quiet, as in I wouldn't say things back even if I had a different opinion, or I didn't agree with something, or I actually thought, well, you're being kind of ridiculous, or I didn't like what you were saying to me. I would just like turn the other cheek, be the bigger person. So I would stay quiet, I wouldn't say anything. I would be super understanding, and I would give everybody else the benefit of the doubt and be totally selfless. I would never put myself first. Honestly, I would martyr myself, and then I wanted, as a result, for people to notice, and I wanted them to say, "Oh, you're such a nice person," and I wanted them to like and approve of me as a result. And I used to be frustrated all the time, because in actuality, it didn't really go like that. Not every single person saw that and valued it and liked me and was grateful for the things that I would do for them. So suffice to say, it was just not a fruitful experience whatsoever. I couldn't form deep, meaningful friendship. I wasn't bold enough to really like go after my goals and the things that I wanted with the full force and capabilities that I know that I have. I was always doubting myself and like what I deserve, and kind of like psychoanalyzing every single situation, a little interaction with somebody when they said that, like what are they thinking of me, or like based on if I said something, maybe I shouldn't have said that, and then they would have not been upset. It was just constant, and so much energy of mine was taken up with after every little social interaction through overthinking it to see like did I do okay. I always wanted to know how someone felt about me, and I needed them to feel okay about me in order to feel okay about me. Managing expectations and my reputation, and not going doing too much out of fear of how it would be perceived. And even if I felt okay with something that I did, or something that I said, that wasn't enough. I didn't know that that's all that I needed as an adult, for me to be okay with my decisions and my situations, things that I put myself in, things that I said yes to, things that I said no to, because I would think about things and I would have my own opinions, or I would have my own feelings. I would think things through and I would be okay with it. But if then someone said something to the contrary, I would like get all frazzled dazzled, until I kind of learned afterwards that the truth is I only really need that approval from myself. If I'm not hurting or harming anybody, and I often never am, then one second. I just had to get my cat out of a little situation. Then that's all that there really is to it. I really and truly only needed my approval of my decisions. Am I living by my own values of what I believe is good and right, and how I want to live my life, and the kind of person that I want to be? I feel like I only just discovered that permission not too long ago, and it sounds very obvious when you say it out loud, but I know so many of us women don't feel that way. And even if we know it logically, it's very difficult to act that out because we really have been socialized in such a big way to just never be selfish, and that is viewed as like the worst thing ever. So I want to walk you through some tangible things that you can do to start actually being selfish, and showing you how this is going to transform your life. So as I said, recognize that the only approval and validation that you need is from yourself, because what you're seeking from other people is really that acceptance, like that radical acceptance of yourself, allowing yourself to be who you are from yourself. Because, for example, right, if you're like talking to a friend and you're saying, like, I feel insecure about, like, there's like lines on my neck, for example, right? And she says, it looks normal, you're fine, it's not a big deal. If she says that and you aren't ready to change your mind about it, then it doesn't matter what they say, you're not actually going to be convinced. You're still going to feel like, I don't like this, right? And in a similar way, when you are like seeking like a validation from someone for something, it's because you want that acceptance of yourself. You're the one judging yourself for whatever that thing is, and you think that if you get it from somebody else, then you'll be able to finally accept it within yourself. The truth is that we really do live by our own set of values, and our own judgments and our own standing of ourselves. So if you learn how to truly accept yourself and allow yourself to just be whoever she is and whoever you decide you want to be, then you're not really going to need that external validation and approval from other people, and you will allow yourself to actually put yourself first and be what society has told us is selfish. Also, people will like you and respect you more if you are exactly yourself, because you're going to be much more trustworthy, right? Authenticity is one of the 5 forms of charisma, and it's actually the easiest one to cultivate, because if you're not like a super energetic and bubbly person, if you try to do that, it will be false. And if you're not like naturally very funny, for example, then again, you can't really cultivate that. But Authenticity meaning you are someone who is exactly themselves. When you say something, you're not always censoring every single thing that you say and do to like please whichever audience that you're speaking in front of. And people know that they kind of get the same person every single time. So they get the same aura every single time that they with that person, or even if they observe you with interacting with somebody else, they're seeing the same version of you. It's not that you're kind of like molding, twisting, shaping yourself for that validation or approval from, or just like somebody else liking you. When you are authentic, people can trust what you say. People are going to like and respect you a lot more versus if they don't know where you stand. You're pretty much a people pleaser and you kind of just bend in the wind to whatever women fancy is happening in front of you in the moment. You are also going to get more of what you want because you're able to just say, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I want. You can ask for things and you're never really going to get those things otherwise because people won't know, number one. And number two, if you don't ask, you're definitely not going to get whatever it is. So when you allow yourself to be more of yourself, people are going to treat you better also, and you're going to just live a life that is more in alignment with what you want because you also let people know how to treat you by what you accept and how you treat yourself. When you value yourself, you respect your opinions, you respect your time, your energy, you say what you want, you live out your own values and you communicate them with other people, you set your boundaries and you hold them, you hold yourself to them, then people are going to know, okay, this is what Aura accepts, this is what she doesn't, this is how I have to move if it is I want to be in her presence or I want to be a part of her life. People are going to value you more if you value yourself, and they're going to think twice about wasting your time, wasting your energy, and they're going to want to do things for you, honestly, and they're just going to think about how they treat you more because you put that time and effort and attention into yourself. So for example, if you carry about yourself a certain way, your posture, how you walk, how you talk, how you dress, how you like move through the world, right? Versus if you kind of just like anything goes, like you walk around like hunched over, you talk anyhow, there's something in your teeth, you haven't taken the time and energy to take care of yourself. That's what self-care is. Yes, it's like skincare routine, hygiene routines, everything, showers, bubble baths, candles, but it's also like your presentation of self, working on your skills and pouring energy and effort into yourself. So taking care of your health, because that takes time and effort and money, to like eat really well, to meal plan, to exercise, and to prioritize those things. So when you do that and you're someone who lives in that way, it's very obvious to other people how much you value yourself because it shows up in conversation, it shows up in how your body looks, it shows up in how you speak and how you interact with other people, how you relate to other people, what you say, what you don't say. Then people can very easily categorize you as someone who is high value based on the fact that you value yourself highly. They will categorize you where you categorize yourself, and they will value you that same amount. Honestly, this is like such a big shocker, but you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And you shouldn't, actually. You really shouldn't do things that you don't want to do. And this is not coming from a place of, well, I know I want to exercise and I have certain body composition goals, but I don't feel like doing it now, so I'm not going to do it. That's not what I'm talking about. Because you actually want to do that thing. You just may not feel like it in the moment. But there are things that you genuinely don't want to do. You don't want to go on a date with somebody who's asked you, or you don't want to give them your number. You may not want to do a particular activity with a friend who asks you. You may not like that activity and you want to do something else. But instead of saying, well, I don't really want to do that, but I do want to spend time with you, how about we do this instead? Or maybe we could pick one of these three other things that you might enjoy also. That's like totally different than saying, I'll do whatever. And then when you go to the thing, you don't actually enjoy it. And you have to, either you're resentful or it takes so much energy and effort out of you to then pretend to enjoy it, and then you kind of vex yourself because you agreed to come or that you didn't say anything. You really shouldn't be doing things that you don't want to do. It's very easy to communicate and say, I don't agree with that, I don't want to do that, I don't like this. I think that that's very hard for us to do. For example, I was on TikTok yesterday and this lady in her 30s, she recounted this like date that she had recently. She said it was so bad that I have to like come on the internet and like rant about it. So on the first date, she didn't really enjoy it, and the guy gave her like a bear hug, and then he went to like kiss her and she put her cheek and she didn't want to, and she was kind of like cringed by it because you could see it in her mannerisms that she did on the video, but she didn't say anything to the guy. She went on a second date with him and something similar happened where he like embraced her again and actually like kissed her on the mouth twice, and she didn't like it either time. And then towards the end of the date, he was asking her again like to come home with him. She didn't want to do it, and then that's when she finally said, well, no. But the truth is, she didn't enjoy the date. She didn't want to be touched. She didn't want to be kissed. That happened on the first date. And on the second date, she had all those same feelings. She could have left at any time. She could have said, I don't want you to touch me, or I don't want you to hug me. I don't want to kiss. I'm not there yet. They were playing games, and he said basically to like not talk during this game because he prefers if she's focused, because then it's more fun for him. So that's him stating what he likes, what his preference is, and she didn't like that he said that. She wanted for them to connect and talk on the date, so she could have easily said, no, I prefer for us to get to know each other and talk, because that's the purpose of a date. So maybe we can stop playing games and like go and sit down and chat, or we can leave. I can leave because I'm not enjoying this. So like even when we have certain preferences and it's not habitual for us to just state it very clearly, and you don't have to be rude or mean or disgusting about it. You can just say, hey, I don't like this, I don't want to do this, so I'm just gonna head out. And that's you setting a boundary, right? It's about you and what your preferences are and what your actions are as a result of what you don't like. You're not telling anybody this is what we have to do, this is what we have to do instead, etc., right? Because people are just gonna like take advantage of you if you don't set your ground rules. Even like your closest people, your best friend, your significant other, your family, they're not gonna know. Nobody's in your mind, nobody is like reading your mind. So if you don't explicitly say, they won't know, and then everybody will be like seeking out what their interests are. So they will say the activity that they like, that they want to do. They're not gonna be thinking, okay, well, I don't know if Aura likes this, or even customize. They may ask you, do you want to do this? And then you just say yes because you don't want to say no, and they're just gonna trust that, right? So if you don't say and if you don't set boundaries, then you're not gonna have a good time with any relationship, no matter how close or whether they are strange. Value your presence, your time, your energy so much higher than you think you deserve right now, and watch everything around you start to match that. No one is coming to give you the permission to prioritize yourself, to prioritize building your dream life. You have to take it, you have to do it. People have their own stuff going on, right? Everybody has all their stressors. They have a million things to do. When they're asking something of you, it's because they need it. Like they're thinking about all the stuff that they have going on. You have to get this type of confidence. I am prioritizing my life and the life that I want. I am taking my energy and my efforts to put it into me and what I want to effect change in my life. And you have to act this out in order to get what you want. Otherwise, you're not going to get very far. Just as you feel not satisfied with where you are in life and you don't feel like you're making progress, you're doing the things that you want to do, that is just because you don't fully and wholly believe that you deserve to take your time and energy and prioritize and give yourself the things that you want. You're going to have better friendships with women. You're going to have better relationships with your family, your parents, your siblings. You're going to have better romantic connections and interactions and relationships, more career success. You'll be hotter and more attractive. You'll be healthier than ever because you'll be prioritizing your health and well-being. You are going to be more confident, less stressed, more energized if you are selfish. And what that looks like is putting yourself as the main decision maker, the main source of inspiration in your life. So that means if you have a goal of changing the way that your body looks. You want to lose fat, you want to build muscle, you want to be healthier, you want to have more energy, you want to clear your skin, you want to like grow your hair, whatever, right? That means that you are going to prioritize in your life fitting those things in, going to the grocery, meal planning, going to the gym, or working out at home, waking up earlier to do that. You're going to take care of your skin. You're going to prioritize those things in your schedule first, and then if you have time left over, then you're going to do other things. You're going to say what you want and what you prefer, what you want to do, and the people around you are going to respect that and understand that and start considering you more in their decision making because you are considering yourself. You're going to have more career success, or more financial or work success or academic success because you are going to start putting in the time and effort and energy that is required for you to grow your side hustle, for you to raise your GPA and do whatever is required for the specific goals that you have when you become selfish. And that really is just putting yourself at the center of your life, which is exactly where you belong. And if this feels strange, if it feels uncomfortable, it's just because it's new and because we really weren't taught that way. You're gonna have such an essence and energy and presence about you because you like yourself. You love yourself and you're not like fishing and desperate and trying to get that from other people. You're giving that to yourself and you're going to move differently through the world. So you're going to be more attractive, more successful, healthier, happier. And that is beneficial to everybody, especially you, but you are going to be so much more and you're going to be able to give more to other people too. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I think this is a really important message. So feel free to share it with a girlfriend if you feel like it would resonate with them as well. Because I really, really want for all women and young girls to have that permission that I really did not have. And I'm trying to give myself right now to put yourself first, to be selfish, to put yourself, center yourself. And that's like a really fundamental part of you building your dream life and getting everything you want and everything that you and I both know that you deserve in this life. Okay? So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for hanging out with me and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.